Hello and welcome to another review. Today we have a brand new, well, I guess it's brand new superhero show, Tabdeeli. It's local, something that's from here, which is great. We always should support our local industry, especially the entertainment industry, primetime entertainment. Tabdeeli is a show that is a spin-off of there's this main series and usually those run for 5 arcs per season. But this one, they kind of canceled this midway. We'll get into that. Um, so real quick, let me just brief you on this. There's a protagonist with a bat.
Batman?
No, not that superhero. No. This one, he has a bat, and he faces off his two primary antagonists, Leo and the Archer, and they're both always after him. They used to be supporting characters in their own shows, but then now they've crossed over into this show. There are rumors that there's going to be a show about them afterwards. We'll get into that. Let's go through the arcs like one by one. You know, let's talk about this. Arc number one. When I first saw the trailer for this show, I was really interested because they promised some good action, some of the characters they introduced in the trailer, they were like fantastic. And then when the show actually started, they just changed the characters. Like there were some casting issues like way in the beginning. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those actors that were shown in the trailers, just before the start of it was a very hopeful start. And everybody watching or following this was very hopeful about this all. But then suddenly some of the main characters were changed, and then there were direction issues as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how these things came to happen, but these are shows, multi-million-dollar shows. Things happen in these. People move. Some actors don't gel well in their positions as they would have. There it is. But I think you had a good insight about the pilot.
Yeah, the pilot episode was really nice. It's like, but then here's the thing: That was not the first episode. The pilot episode was somehow afterwards, and I'm like, yaar, ye abhi karna hai? Abhi? Isi waqt abhi? I'm like, yaar, come on. But that was a good side plot. It was interesting when that happened, and
I mean, it was fantastic. It was a fantastic moment.
Exactly.
It was fantastic.
Exactly. Like
if you're talking about when you're talking about teas, spilling teas and all that, it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. That was a good side plot. But then the rest of Arc 1, it feels like they did a U-turn from the trailer. It's like, yeah, okay, happens. We go on with it. Arc 2, they flipped it up drastically. They brought in the pandemic storyline, which I understand there's a pandemic happening in real life, but did we have to bring it into the show?
Exactly. I mean, they handled it well. It's not like they handled very badly. Even the critics all over the world kind of supported the fact that they handled the pandemic better than other shows have.
Yeah, other shows have.
But obviously, it wasn't needed, to be honest. But we are not the writers here. We are just critics.
Yeah, definitely.
The Arc 3 was the one where the budget issues started coming in, and that's when the real pandemic effects started coming into the show.
Yeah,
and that's when I think the ratings started to go down.
Definitely.
So yeah, this was like the moment where even the diehard fans of the show started to show like, is this show for us or not? Is the protagonist really his heart in its place? And there were some dubious moments here. I think the max that can be said about Arc 3 is this.
Yeah. Arc 4, they really changed up. I guess they had some kind of word that they're going to get canceled or something, so they just brought the season finale into arc 4. It's kind of messy. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel particularly confident about this part of the arc, like this part of the show. This arc was kind of messy. Um, from what I've heard, there's some kind of studio merger like they call it a merger, but we all know it's a takeover. And
it was a takeover. The letters were all over the place. The letters were all over the internet, and the takeover or merger, whatever you can call it, it was there. And the choosing, I think the direction or the director or the protagonist choices were taken away. They were not allowed to choose as freely as they could have.
Yeah.
Just as they say, beggars can't be choosers. So
definitely.
At this point, this was the case. I also, I think I faced a little bit of audio issues. I don't know if it was my speakers or theirs, but the speakers were having issues.
Both speakers, like both speakers.
Both of them. I mean, one had issues before, but then the other one kicked in as well. So.
Possibly, yeah. Some kind of audio distortion, speaker problems that will just chalk it up to technical difficulties.
And something that I also noticed in Arc 4 was that the director started losing faith in the protagonist. Because for the first 3 arcs, the director was very vocal about the protagonist. Even through the criticism the protagonist was facing, in Arc 4 the director started to lose hope. And I think there was more of a push towards the antagonist rather than the protagonist by the director. Maybe it was because of the show that's about to happen. There's rumors about a show where the antagonist of this show, or the protagonist in the upcoming show. There's rumors of names floating around called Legends of Corruption, but I don't know. Things will pan out. But once things starts rolling out, we'll see.
Definitely, we'll definitely see there. And did you notice the season finale was a little too long in this? Like it felt like that lasted a whole day, and the protagonist was nowhere to be seen. Like I don't know what was happening over there. Like a really badly written season finale.
Definitely. I mean, it wasn't even ending. I mean, even the antagonist felt like sleepy by the end of it, all of it.
Yeah.
And things started, pacing together at the very end, but by the end it was already too late.
Yeah, it was.
By then, I don't think, since they had to push the Arc 5 into Arc 4, that was probably the reason why they had to merge it and make it, put everything into the finale to make it this long. But this was how it was done.
I personally would have loved to see Arc 5. I mean, maybe there could have been some hopeful, a good ending, maybe even into a season 2 of this show. But they've left it open-ended, like they haven't there could be a season 2 of this show, but we have to see what happens
further down the line. Maybe further down the line, because something that I've noticed once the season ended, there's a very high cult following almost around the protagonist. I've seen on social media, and it's very aggressive as well. The cult following that the protagonist somehow has is they are very vocal on the internet, and even there was a trend on the Twitter. So maybe he might play a part in the upcoming show Legends of Corruption, or
maybe
somewhere down the line he might get his own show back again.
Yeah.
So this is something we'll look into it as things happen.
I mean, it might be good if they renew this for season 2, but we'll see how the spinoff does first, and then obviously, we'll watch the show. We'll let you guys know.
But again, to be very fair, I'm not very hopeful about the spinoff, because these two, Leo and Archer, already had their shows before, and they were very disappointing.
Yeah.
And now combining them together into one show, even adding more characters as we speak right now, because the rumors are coming in. There's going to be more characters added in, but I don't know. Somebody fuel charged is something, I don't know. There are rumors. There are
Yeah,
rumors
yeah,
running around
definitely.
about other characters joining into this, this whole new show. So I'm not very excited about it, but we'll review it once it's done and dusted.
Mhm.
Let's hope it's good, but
No, but
considering their past experiences,
yeah, like remember when they had their own shows, there was like some financial issues in there. A lot of the money went missing. There was allotted for the show. I don't know what happened
exactly,
there, and stuff
exactly.
never proved. But then like once you like, it's an allegation.
Even the Archer season
Yeah,
was
yeah,
rated 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
10%, man. That's
10%.
yeah, 10%, yo. And I mean, I guess we will see what happens. We'll stay hopeful. You know, maybe our protagonist comes back. Maybe not. Who knows? I really hope things work out. I don't feel particularly comfortable rating this show because it got canceled. It doesn't feel fair. Like, usually we'd wait
True.
a full season before, but then since they got canceled before the season ended, uh, let's not rate it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely. I think a review of this is pretty much fine.
yeah,
If you guys, although the listeners want to rate it, want to comment on it, how it was, do feel free to tell us in the comments.
yeah, yeah.
And like and subscribe. Beggars might not be choosers, but you can choose to subscribe to us. Please do that.
All right. See you all. Goodbye.